For millions of basketball fans around the world, the story of Michael Jordan is the story of the greatest athlete of all time, the best basketball player ever, at the height of his incredible career. But, interestingly, he left the sport not once, but twice. Here is the fascinating story of a modern legend for the modern age, a look at the biggest sports icon of all time, and how he created one of the most successful brands off the court. Brooklyn, New York, February 17th, 1963. In a small Brooklyn hospital, Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born. By the time he was a toddler, Jordan and his family moved to North Carolina, where he would grow up to become part of one of the most iconic sports families of all time, the future Air Jordan. In fact, Jordan was such a loss-prone child that he got soundly defeated at one-on-one basketball by his older brother Larry in their backyard. But that loss only inspired the young Jordan to practice and play all the harder in his bid to best his brother at basketball, a quest that would ultimately change the NBA forever. Most people forget that Jordan was once cut from his high school varsity team as a sophomore in 1978. That's right, the greatest player of all time wasn't good enough for Laney High School varsity team back in the day, but rather than letting that defeat him, he let it drive him to become a better baller. In interviews, he stated that when he was tired during training, he would envision the list of players' names published on the locker room wall for selection to the varsity team, without his name on it. It's hard to believe that it's been 2 years since Michael Jordan made that championship-winning shot in 1982 for North Carolina to win the championship over Australian power forward Andrew Gaze. Now Jordan has taken college basketball by storm and is ready for the leap to the NBA. On June 28, 1984, Jordan makes his dream a reality as the Chicago Bulls select him 3rd overall in the NBA draft. The Houston Rockets select Middle East sensation Hakeem Olajuwon 1st overall, and the Portland Trail Blazers select power forward Sam Bowie, the all-around player Greg Cable champion liked best. This pick by Portland would later be rated the worst draft pick in sports history. It is fact number 1. Air Jordan was not just an Air Jordan, he was AIR. The way he dominated the league was not limited to his ability to score at an unprecedented rate and defend at an elite level. When he broke the record for most points scored in a playoff game, that record was broken at 27 years old. He scored 63 points on the Celtics 40 years ago, and no one has reached that total since. He averaged 30.1 points per year for his entire career. No one has come close to matching that incredible average. For years, Jordan has been throwing air balls at mid-range jumpers, stomping his feet at free throw misses, and generally being frustrated by the lack of overall greatness on the basketball court. Finally, the pièce de résistance of championships comes along. 6 in a row is pretty impressive. 6 Finals MVP awards is really impressive. No Game 7s in the finals just adds to the impressive feat of the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls. At the time, they held the record for best regular season record in NBA history, with the impressive 72 wins. When Michael Jordan shot 3-pointers that season, he made them look so automatic that after hitting 6 of them in Game 3 of the 1992 Finals against Portland, he could barely look in the TV camera's direction. He seemed almost to say, "What am I doing?" On October 6, 1993, Michael Jordan shocked basketball fans everywhere by announcing his retirement from the sport. This sudden departure was a result of the recent death of his father. At the time, Jordan was on top of the basketball world, having won 3 consecutive NBA championships with the Chicago Bulls. His departure marked the first time a player had completed a trilogy of championships since the famous 1960s Boston Celtics. "I needed a break," Jordan once said in explanation of his sudden departure from basketball. "My father just passed." Many thought Jordan would never amount to anything besides a basketball player, but he surprised everyone by going to play minor league baseball with the Chicago White Sox organization. In 1994, Jordan played for the AA affiliate of the White Sox, the Birmingham Barons. How did he do? Well, it's hard to imagine anyone being worse. He batted .202 with 114 strikeouts. It was one of the most surreal moments in sports history, and it was surreal because it was so real. Here was a man who loved basketball so much that he risked alienating millions of fans by walking away from the NBA, and yet he needed to go play baseball too. Despite technically retiring in 1993, the NBA never really retired the number 23 from the league. Basketball was never really retired from the sport for Michael Jordan, and he returned to the NBA on March 18, 1995. When he announced his return to the NBA to the press, he used a simple two-word press release: "I'm back." Fans got a glimpse of the return of Jordan that first night, as he was rocking a new jersey with a new number, 45, instead of the redefined number 23. His third three-peat on the Chicago River was capped off with a 55-point beating of the Knicks. The final shot he hit as a Bull was very poetic. Game 6 of the 1998 Finals, 5.2 seconds left. The last shot, over Brian Russell to win his 6th NBA title. He walked away from Chicago for the final time. I never thought Jordan would actually stay retired, did you? He's back playing for the Washington Wizards at 38 years old. He may not be jumping through ceilings and walls and flying like he used to, but it's still pretty cool to watch a 38-year-old Jordan score 43 points in an NBA game. Oh yeah, he's also the first player 40 to achieve the same goal. In October 2003, NBA legend Michael Jordan retired from basketball. However, when he first retired in 1993, few realized that he had started something that would far exceed his on-court achievements. He had created the world's most successful brand, worth over $1 billion. The Nike brand's Jordan division now has a turnover of $7 billion. He is the only person to have taken a successful sports franchise and turned it into a phenomenally successful leisure product range. The world knows that Michael Jordan's net worth is $3.08 billion today. But behind that massive bankroll is a fascinating personal story, as well as lessons learned on how to strive for perfection, know when to walk away, and retire when the time is right.